Welcome to Ravens Over. Please go to my channel, also the notification bell, like this video, and share. We lost one of our sisters. Her name was Leah. She was only 28 years old. I want to share this story about her life and living and what happened to one of our sisters. Share this video everywhere you can. I created this channel for people with different support those who support you. There's a PayPal on top.
People
Remember
murdered.
one thing, there are a lot of times people can't send in the truth, but you find one that does support them. Make sure they do not fall within a marginalized community as not being in existence. And you know that there are hard to find people that create a channel that cater to people who are different and stand in the truth. And the allies sit back and say, well, I have no problem with other people. Let me just stand in here to learn something and learn. No judgment.
Who support you.
I love you.
Stay in your truth.
Okay. Her name was Leah. I'm going to be shortening these names and stuff. A transgender woman died in Cuyahoga County jail. Wrote letters criticizing jail condition before her death. This story is being reported as of September the 18th, 2020. Now, Cleveland, Ohio, before Leah became the latest county jail inmate to die in her cell, she penned a letter about the poor condition of the facility that she stashed away, fearful that the jail guards would find it and destroy it. Now, Leah's mother discovered the letters when she collected her 28-year-old daughter's belongings from the jail after her August the 30th death. Leah wrote that she planned to send this letter after her release from jail. She did not name its intention recipient, as far as she wrote that the food was cold, smelled bad, and that the portions were served to inmates were too small, as the letter stated. I think that a 6-year-old would eat. I think that a 6-year-old would eat more than that, she wrote. She also described the meal where that the pasta was too cold and that the meat both smelled bad and tasted like cleaning chemicals. The inmate refused to eat and complained that to the jail staff that the kitchen workers did who did nothing, said the letters that Leah left. Also, she wrote that the jail felt to the inmate doing laundry and did provide supplies as far as the inmate cleaning their cells. These conditions has gotten worse and more worse out of control due to COVID-19. She wrote, I hope something is done about these conditions. Food service in jail been a source of criticism since 2018 of U.S. Marshal Service report that the food served in in-house staff was rotten and that the kitchen was infested with vermin and that the staff used molded serving trays. The county in June contacted Trinity Services Group that over for $9 million over the 3 years to take care of inmates' meals. The Florida-based companies has been subjected to criticism, media reports of quality of food served in jails, prisons across the county, that the companies offered rebuttals of the list of complaints. The county jail council decided to approve of the contract because Leah's letter was undated. It is unknown who she was and who was in charge of the food service at that time of her complaint. Now, Mark White, the spokesman for the company, said that Trinity has no knowledge of the letter of incident. Leah's letter is her last known communication since her May 17th arrest for robbery charges. Her mother, Felicia, said that she's been poring over the letters along with messages she traded back and forth with her daughter in the months that she was leading to her death. It makes me sick to my stomach when I found these letters, Felicia said. Leah aunt Sherika Clark said that the last time she spoke to her niece then planned to celebrate Leah's May 7th birthday, but Clark had to work late, so she sent money to her niece through a Cash App. She also liked to go out and get cocktails. Clark said she liked her crop tops, she liked looking pretty, and she just wanted to be herself. She didn't want to be judged. Bullying less than sometimes. Felicia said that her daughter loved spending time with her family, outgoing, dancing, and making sure she looked as right as she went out. She idolized the singers as far as Rihanna and Aaliyah and aspired to be a model. Her mother said that she worked off and on city missions, homeless shelters, and avenues, stayed either there or at the 2100 Men's Shelter on Lakeside Avenue. Leah was one of the 8 siblings struggled growing up in the Cleveland. She attended Garfield Heights High School and endured bullying for being different, her mother said. She liked to wear flashy clothes, wear her hair long, and put on light makeup, her mother stated. She liked her girly clothes, Felicia said. There was a lot of bullying in Garfield Heights school system, Felicia Day said that the bullying and struggle sometimes boiled over to her daughter ending up in bad situations, including the recent arrest of accusing that she threw a brick at a man outside a 2100 men's homeless shelter. Leah never asked for help posting bond. Felicia Davis believed that her daughter felt she needed to take some time away from her problems and get back into her life, get her back in life on track. She acted out of ways as a child. Felicia said that when we sat down and talked, she said it was because she was hiding who she wanted to become, because she was scared. She said that a lot of acting out she did was because of the bullying she endured. Now, Felicia said her daughter was in the midst of transitioning and was using hormone replacement therapy. Leah, who held in the area of the jail reserved for men, her mother said among the questions that has gone so far unanswered that her daughter's gender identity played a role to her death. Fourth for Northeast Ohio LGBTQ right organizations advocate for the homeless coalition to stop the humiliation of Cuyahoga County Jail, Equality Ohio, Northeast Ohio Coalition for the Homeless and LGBTQ Community Centers for Greater Cleveland criticizing the county officials as far as Leah's death at their misidentifying of her. They also pointed out that both Leah and Michael Woodward, who died in the jail on July the 7th, were homeless at the time of their incarceration. Leah spent the last 105 days of her life in custody of the system that could not even provide a basic dignity of releasing a report of the public, her correct name and gender after passing, the group joining the statement. Now, the county spokesperson Mary said declined to comment on the group's statement. Now, questions left unanswered. The county was released few details about Leah's death, which happens during the spike of population in the jail, and a jail supervisor report that the medical examiners noted reviews that Cleveland said that the cellmate found her unconscious around 3:30 a.m., some 5 hours after she was last seen alive. Both reports that Leah was known to hide medication disputed in her jail by the weighing in her cheek. She would wedge it in her cheek and later storing it in her cell. So basically it was stating that allegedly she was hiding that medicine in her cheek and was putting it in her cell. Now, the jail supervisor reported that the Metro Health nurses who are in charge of passing out and ensuring inmates taking their medication caught Leah hiding medication a few days before her death. The medical examiner's record also says that Leah struggled with heroin, cocaine, prescription pills, and also alcohol use. Survived 2 overdoses. Her mother and aunt said they were unaware that Leah's drug use and questioned if that information was accurate. She would have shared that with me, Clark said. I know that for a fact, but she didn't. But she never did. Police today said that the medical examiner investigators told her that there were signs that her daughter may have died of an overdose, but that they needed to wait for results as far as toxicology to know for sure. Now, when they came and told me that she passed away, I just lost it. Felicia said her mother said it hurts because I don't know what happened to her. Mother said she retained an attorney and considered filing a lawsuit, and what she should. She said that the family that cared Clark, my sister is out here hunting because she doesn't get answers from them. We're not going to sleep until we get it. The county is going to get what they deserve. They need to be shut down. Shut the hell down. And this is what she had stated. And this is unbelievable. And she basically died, and the girl was only 28 years old, and just miraculously, she's supposed to be allegedly died of an overdose and stuff like that. And this is something else I want to share with you as far as what I found as far as the news thing. And remember, when they did find her and stuff, it was stating that she was misgendered. Of course, you already know that. And it was stating that a transgender inmate misgendered in the county jail after her death. And that the Cleveland, Ohio, Leah passed away around August the 30th after spending more than 100 days in the county jail, and announced that from the jail that Leah was misgendered as a man. Leah was charged with aggravated robbery and the contempt of court, but as not showing her mug shot because it's irrelevant to the story. Now, I'm going to show you a reference to the news article that went out in reference to this girl, death. Check this out.
Misgendered at death, 28-year-old Leah Rashawn Day passed away August 30th after spending more than 100 days in the Cuyahoga County Jail. She was charged for aggravated robbery and contempt of court, but for not showing you her mugshot because it isn't relevant to the story. In a report from the Cuyahoga County Jail confirming the death, Day was referred to as a man. I spoke to Mary Louise Madigan, a spokesperson from Cuyahoga County, and she sent the following statement in part: the death is being investigated by the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner and Cuyahoga County Sheriff. Eliana Tran from the LGBT Community Center of Greater Cleveland says misgendering people in the trans community is common.
That's unfortunately a pattern in the crisis, and it's one that is harmful on more than one level.
Tran believes everyone has to do better because misrepresenting someone is a huge disrespect.
This is harmful because it represents a form of character assassination after the individual is gone from this world and they don't have the opportunity to even push back against that.
Duran remains dedicated in fighting for trans rights. Her goal is to stop something tragic like this from happening again in the future.
I think the only consolation that we can have right now is the hope that through Leah's passing that this might be a moment where things begin to change.
All I can say is rest in peace, and the family in my prayers. You know, she was only 28 years old, and like I said before, this world can bully you and make you go through it. I really don't know exactly the cause of death. There was not specific. They're definitely doing an investigation. So basically, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell. This way, if I get more information about this girl's life, what happened to her from this county jail, I will let you know. For what this thing is speaking, allegedly is that the mother didn't get much information about her daughter's death, and they're still trying to find out what exactly is happening. Allegedly, they're speaking of a lawsuit. The mother had a family that cared, and the sister said that my sister is out here hurting because she doesn't get answers from them. So she basically is not getting anything, but the mother said she retained an attorney and is considering filing a lawsuit, which I think she should, because at the end of the day, we don't know how she died. We don't know how she died. They're stating that she had pills and she had all these different types of things. So I find it to be questionable, because if she's had all these things in her mouth, then when they watch her much more carefully. So this is kind of questionable to me, that you would say that she had all these things that y'all was aware of in her mouth, and yet still you didn't check up on her to make sure she was doing anything. So that's questionable to me. And also they're stating that someone else also died that was from the men's shelter that was allegedly that died there in that same jail. So it's definitely something else. They also pointed out that Leah and Michael Warmack, who died in the jail, he died in January, and he was homeless the same place where Leah was at. So they both came from the same type of shelter, allegedly, and basically they both was homeless, allegedly, and they both ended up dying under the same type of cause, allegedly. So, like I said before, I'm sure they'll be doing an investigation. I hope the mother do file a lawsuit, get more of an investigation going on. Sign to this channel this way. If I find any more information about this girl and what happened to her, I will definitely let you know when I do a update and stuff. Subscribe to my channel. Share every way you can. We can make a lot of noise. This way her death won't go under silence, and the mother won't feel like she's out here alone fighting for something, because without us, no one really gets a chance to know what's actually happening. So you, my soldiers, share this video where you can. and let people know what happened. So more noise we make, the more people have to investigate. Like I said before, subscribe to my channel. Your comment below at the top of this Instagram button. You follow me, I follow back. I read your comments, let you know I love you, and thank you for watching. Kiss the Ray.